Yeah, let's talk about actually Ryuk. That's the one role I sort of was floating over because I want to leave the best for last. Like you're here as the voice of Ryuk here at Fan Expo with the rest of the cast of the main cast of Death Note. Ryuk is a bit of a different character, type of character from the usual type you're used to playing. How was it like playing the role of Ryuk? How did you get that role, and how was it? What was your experience in terms of practicing and playing for that role?
It's a very different role, and it's a funny thing that most people don't know is I was never asked to audition for Ryuk. My agent sent me what the producers wanted me to read for. I read for Light's father and a couple of other detectives. I showed up at the audition, and when I showed up at the audition, I saw the pictures of the characters I was going to audition for, but I also saw a picture of Ryuk, and I was like, "What? Why am I not auditioning for this cool-looking demon? Who is this guy? He looks like the best character in the show." And I went straight to the director when I was in the audition room. I read the other roles, and I said, "Can I please read for that demon-looking bad guy as well?" And he said, "Okay, we don't have a lot of time. Here's some dialogue. Go take a look at it for 5 minutes and come back in and give me your idea." And he said, he told me two things. He's not the bad guy, and he has a kind of an interesting laugh. I'm like, okay. So I just wanted to add some texture to his voice and give him a laugh that sounded a bit like a cough. So he was give him a little bit of that. I added some texture, and I never booked any of the other roles, but I booked Ryuk. So it was just a wonderful thing that happened. And he's such a different character because he's not the protagonist, he's not the antagonist. He's the character that just watches it all unfold. He wanted to drop the Death Note because he was bored.
Yeah, like he sort of planes. He's like an existence above everyone else.
Yeah,
It's another plane. Existence.
He just wanted to create a little chaos, see what happens. He's not on one side or the other, and he knew a lot of what was going to unfold before it did. But it still was a joy for him to watch.
My favorite line of Ryuk's is actually the final line that he reads when he's writing Lifestream in the Death Note.
"I told you in the very beginning that I would be the one writing your name in the Death Note when you die."
And the reason I remember that line the most is because it really reminded me of sort of those monologues in theater.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
you know, the entire scene where one character talks.
Yeah, they stop, and it's almost like, holding the skull and saying to be or not to be. He's got the Death Note in his hand, and he just speaks it aloud. It's cool. It's great. It's a very theatrical show in that way, and Ryuk is one of my favorite roles ever. And to originate that voice and be the only voice for him in the anime in North America is pretty fun.